Nice. Just setting up for another video to shoot for you guys. About to go start some charcoal, but when I come back, I was gonna do a product review, so you might as well stick around. I might as well give one away. So don't go anywhere. Smokestack Traditional Barbecue starts right now. So we got our wireless barbecue thermometer here from INKBIRD. I really, so far, have enjoyed the look of this. Right when I opened up the package, it looked really crisp and clean. Very simple but modern, sleek look. Super into that. So we're gonna open this thing up. We're going to go through some of the features and stuff that it might have on it. And we're going to give it a try out on the charcoal grill today, where you got a beautiful cowboy steak that we're gonna season up and get on some high heat and see what this thermometer does for us today. So let's get into it. All right, here we go. We got our product here from INKBIRD, the INT-11P-B. You can find it on Amazon. Check our link down there in the description. Right now it is half off, so make sure to look that up. Got the gold rim around the outside of this, which is very nice. We got where our charging port goes. This is going to charge our case, and it's going to charge the temperature probe on the inside. They both need to be charged for this to work. Sliding that back reveals our temperature probe. Looks like this is pretty well built. It's got some good weight to it. You can see our line right here. This line is where we insert this up to whatever we're cooking. And then we got our ambient temperature probe on the other end of that. So this looks like a pretty good looking little probe. One thing I didn't notice about this case, which I think is a super cool feature, is it is magnetic. So I love magnetic equipment when I'm barbecuing, because typically your grill's magnetic or your tables might be magnetic because they're metal, and things like that are great. So that's a great concept there by INKBIRD by putting the magnets into the bottom of the case. So we're unboxing the rest of this. Flip this open. We got our manual in here with all of, obviously, our instructions and such, and our charger. And our charger's got the new charging port. That seems to be the general direction that technology is going nowadays. So again, ahead of the times there with INKBIRD charger. Just flipping through the manual here, some of the things that I was seeing. Right here it says probe battery life is 25 hours. So if you're someone that puts these in your smoker for a really long period of time, like 15, 16 hours, this is a good product, because 25 hours is a really long time for something like that to last. Different color lights on here to let you know what the different battery levels are going to be. So green indicator, yellow indicator, and a red indicator. One thing that I noticed is you do have to charge the case and you have to charge the thermometer. So both of them are going to need their own separate charge, so you have two different batteries in there. So looking at some of the warnings and things in here, one thing you want to look at with these temperature probes is the max temperature that they can reach. In here we have 300 degrees Celsius, or AKA 572 degrees Fahrenheit. So I don't think I've ever exceeded 450 degrees when I've cooked anything. So that's a positive there. It's got a really high temperature profile. It does say in here that the probe is waterproof. The case, however, is not, so make sure that you're careful with the case around water. So kind of your basic stuff with this barbecue thermometer so far. I really like what I'm seeing. I just hope that the product works as good as it seems. Now, we do have to download the app. When I typed INKBIRD into the App Store, there were two things that popped up that I thought could possibly be it, so I wasn't really sure which one to utilize. There was one that looked like it was for barbecue specifically. It had INKBIRD tags on it. And then there was another one that was the INKBIRD app, and it was for smart home living. Initially, I was thinking it was going to be the one for barbecue. However, after looking into the box, you can see right here it says smart home living right on the box. So that is the one that I was able to connect to. So when you're searching this, it is the INKBIRD app that's for smart home living. So don't get that confused. All right, we got a awesome cowboy steak here that we picked up from our local Sam's Club. Some people might put oil or something on this for like a binder. I'm not into it. I'm also really simple when it comes to steaks. We got some really nice flaky kosher salt, and I'm all in on the McCormick's pure ground black pepper. I don't like the coarse stuff on the steaks, so I usually start with some salt, And then finally, I really enjoy Montreal steak seasoning. It might be basic, I don't know, but I think it's terrific. Goes on all of my steaks. First opened up the app, got registered with an account. It was super easy. Recognized this after I went in. I clicked on barbecue thermometers, found it immediately. It was super easy to connect to. Then the first thing that popped up was an internal temperature from this end, and I had an ambient temperature on there from this end. Both temperatures were at 68 degrees, so I really liked that they were the exact same on both ends. And I know that the inside of the house is 68 degrees because that's what I have the heat set on inside. So far, that tells me that this is pretty accurate. Now, like I said earlier, it does have that little mark on here. That's how far we need to insert this. We're gonna go right into the middle of this steak, insert it up until that little indented piece here on the end of the thermometer gets there. I'm gonna wait a few minutes. I have a thermometer here on the outside of this grill that's telling me what the inside temperature is like. I would like to compare what this is going to give me here in a couple minutes compared to what my app is telling me is the ambient temperature. Now, one thing for me in particular, the ambient temperature on these wireless thermometer is probably the biggest tool for me. As a barbecuer that does a lot of low and slow cooking, using an ambient temperature on a wireless thermometer like that can be very beneficial. So I can have these big offsets going. I can have that temperature probe inserted in at least one piece of meat that I got on there, and then I can go off and do other things. And that way I can look at my phone and I can see what the internal temperature of my tank is. If the tank is rising or lowering more than I want it to, I know I have to come out here and I have to mess with the fire and fix the fire. So it is a very nice tool for me to be able to tell where my cook is while I'm inside. That way I don't have to sit out here constantly and control my temperatures and control my fire. Now, one thing to remember about these wireless probes is they do run off of their cases. So this case has to be within range of the probe at all times while it's cooking, or else you'll lose connectivity. And then your phone connects to the case. So all of those have to be within proximity of each other for them to work. Just remember that. And again, this has a terrific magnet on the back of it. So I just have this sitting here on the side of this grill, and I can trust it's not going to go anywhere. Now, I did just check the temperature on the app, and it's got me about 275 to 300, somewhere in that range right now. And the grill temperature on this probe here has me sitting right at 400. I think the real tell for us is going to be when we have that steak directly over the coals on how accurate that ambient temperature is. Something else that is beneficial for me with the wireless thing is, again, the ability to walk away from what I'm doing and be able to do something else. But with that, how far can I go before I lose that connectivity? Right now, I've been just on the back patio. Everything's to be running smoothly. I haven't lost connectivity at all. But at some point, I'm going to just take my phone. I'm going to walk out of the yard until I lose connectivity. And then at some point, I'm also going to walk out of sight and see if it loses connectivity any earlier. I did just check in the product description on Amazon for the distance that it claims to have on it. It claims a 300-foot distance with no obstacles. It's very clear about that. So here we go. We are off to see how far this probe reaches. Okay, so I got to about 102 feet, 100 feet, somewhere in there. And as soon as I took one step backwards, I instantly reconnected. So there is a real fine line where it's going to connect and where it doesn't. And it does pick up right back to where it left off when you reconnect. So reconnects immediately and everything's good. So about 100 feet, I would say, is where this thing is going to disconnect when I was walking across my yard. Now, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to go around the corner this time and see if my house blocking this signal causes any more of an issue. Okay, so I would say that once it loses sight of the case, it doesn't work as well. Almost immediately, as soon as I turn the corner of my house, I got about 2 more feet and I lost connection. I did regain connection before I turned the corner, but it wasn't by much. So Definitely better with direct line of sight. All right, now we just did the walk around test inside. I walked the house. I did not lose connection one time while I was inside, so that's a positive because mainly what am I going to do? Be inside doing other things. So I'd say max distance, probably about 100 feet on this thing. And when you're in your house, you're probably going to have great connection. Just another thing I noticed when I was playing around on the app, when you get started cooking something, you get to go in and you get to select what type of protein it is that you're cooking. They have a great list. It's a wide variety of things. They got seafood on there, like lobster. They have hams, sausages, different cuts of, or different steak. Once you select that, you can click the doneness on steaks. So how do you like it? Rare, medium, well done, whatever floats your boat. I got this one set for medium today, which for them is 140 degrees. So once my timer or the probe detects that we're 140 degrees, it should give me an alarm warning to let me know that I'm at temperature, and at that point we will take it off. The other thing that I noticed in there is that there is a calibration. Now, I'm not 100% sure what this might be for. I don't know, maybe the temperature probe itself might get a little out of whack. It does seem to have a calibration mode that you can set and help calibrate it, detect temperatures better and more accurately. I didn't try it because it was going to be hard for me to test, considering that I think it was already being pretty accurate. So we didn't test that, but interesting feature there that I found inside the app. So we're almost done with this cook. I just wanted to give you a quick update. Unfortunately, the ambient temperature on the app doesn't seem to be functioning well. For a while it was. When I had it off to the indirect sides, I thought it was catching up. I thought it was doing a pretty good job. I put it directly over the coals. Right now, my probe on the grill has me at about 350 degrees. I think what I'm having problems with is the instruction manual told me it could get to 572 degrees and that it would still function. And I'm getting tons of warnings from the app itself telling me that it is disconnecting because it is too high of a temperature inside the cook chamber. So that is disappointing. It seems that there's a couple claims being made that aren't going to be very accurate, like the 300-foot distance and the ambient temperature being able to get up to 572 degrees. All right, so our internal temperature came up to 140. The app sent me a alert on my phone, let me know that my cooking was complete, and the case even started to go off. So the case has a alarm inside of it, so when you reach your temperature, it starts going off. Just in case you're not paying attention to your phone, the case starts going off, so that was nice. All right, so we're gonna cut into this steak and see how perfectly we were able to cook it with this INKBIRD wireless temperature probe. I would say INKBIRD hit that on the point. That is a terrific cross section right there. That's gonna hit it right on the money. We have some nice tenderness in there. That's phenomenal. I'm super happy with that. That's terrific. That's a great Saturday afternoon lunch right there. So overall, my thoughts on the INKBIRD is I really enjoyed it. The only thing that I thought was a little off was that ambient temperature. What do I make of that? I'm not really sure, because it was working, and then for some reason it just seemed to get really high, and I don't really understand why. So that was a little disappointing there. But overall, I thought it cooked to a great temperature on the internal and never lost control of the internal temperature at any point. I think it's got a great design. I didn't have any problems with the app. I thought the app worked tremendous, so I can't complain there. But overall, I think this is a great product, especially for the price right now. You click on that link below, find it on Amazon. It is 50% off right now. It is $50 right now. So you need to get online. You need to get you one of these. For the price, you can hardly beat it. Now, INKBIRD was nice enough to give us a second one to give away, so we are going to give anybody that is subscribing to the channel an opportunity to win one of these wireless thermometers from INKBIRD. All you have to do to enter is comment below, subscribe to the channel, and then watch our next video, and we will reveal our winner for this barbecue thermometer that we're giving away for free, okay? So make sure you comment below, subscribe to the channel, and then come back for more action. This is Smokestack's Traditional Barbecue. Thanks for watching today.